Thanks, grace of heaven, virtues of masters, grand predecessors, transmitters, and lecturers, and everyone else for giving me this opportunity to learn to speak on tonight's topics: understanding destiny, establishing life, and cultivating aspiration and virtue. Okay. So, what is the characteristics of life and destiny? Life means life force comes from heavens. The time and circumstances of one's birth are predetermined. Predetermined framework, 先天. Okay. And then destiny, change or change of post heavens, the dynamic interaction between external and internal influences, the influence of postnatal changes. Life can be represented as the bone or the roots, and destiny is like a flesh or a branch. Okay, so life is given from our past life cultivation, and the destiny or the can be changeable through effort and external factors. Um, Life is the bone, destiny is the flesh, and when the bone is strong, the form stands firm. When the flesh is ample, the body is healthy. All right. So life is the innate blueprints and life pattern one brings into the world. Okay. Um, the innate structure, the four pillars of destiny, such as the year, the month, the date, and the hour of one person is born, which determines one's personal distribution to the five elements and the 10 celestial stems and earthly branches. And then the innate talents and accents, uh, the one's personalities, tendencies, natural gifts, or as well as one's family backgrounds and prenatal environments. Natural gifts such as like a person is born with, you know, they can play very good in piano or play very good sports. So it's very good in math or tested as high IQ is all natural gift that is accumulated from their past life and brought over from their past life. Okay. And then there's a unchanging foundation. Like the bones, it's formed sorry, it forms the framework of one's life structure. It can not be completely altered or by the postnatal efforts, but one can recognize it and make the best use of it. Okay. Um, so mean or the life is like the bones, once predetermined, predestined nature fixed at birth, which provided the fundamental support for the development of or destiny. Destiny is the post heaven. It's constantly changing aspect of one's life journey. So this destiny is the everything in this world is happening. Who we encounter, what's our educations, and all that can affect our destiny. So all the forms is it's like everything in this physical realm is constantly changing. Therefore, we can change our destiny for good or bad. Okay. Um, the temporal cycle, the 10 years lock a pillar. So in the Chinese fortune telling, there's like every 10 years, our destiny will shift to good or bad. And then every year we have a different stars in our zodiac signs, which also can affect our destiny or yeah, our fate. Okay. Um, Dynamic interactions, the interplay between the external circumstances such as environment, society, relationships, and one's internal choice, uh, efforts, and mindsets. All that can change um, one's destiny. Okay. And then mutable future, unlike the fixed bones of life, destiny is like a flesh. It can thicken or thin, strengthen or weaken, depending on how one navigates the direction of life. In other words, destiny is like the flesh that grow on the life bones, representing the fluctuate, uh, fluctuations of luck and the result of the uh, 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 and then causality of three lives. Um, of three lives. Okay, so why does one enjoy blessings and prosperities? That's because they offer rise to the temples in their past life. They were giving. Okay, when we give, we shall receive. Okay, why one is reborn as ox or horse? Uh, they owe debts unpaid in their past life. So we should not owe anybody anything. We should remember to pay it back. And therefore, we don't have to come back in the next life to pay it off. And if we owe so much debt that we did not pay off, we could be reborn as an ox or horse and work in their farm to pay off our debts. So try not to do that. um, do not claim the karma goes unseen. Okay. Its fruits may ripen in one's descendants or soon return to oneself. Okay, so if our karma, our debt is not paid off, the law of causality, it will always come back to us or to our descendants. Okay, so one way or the other, we will have to pay it back. Okay. Karmic retribution is never absent; it merely awaits in time. So that's the law of causality. Okay, it might not happen right away. It might not happen in this present life or next life, but um, it will come back to us one in one lifetime. Okay, or the other. Okay. And three life causality and karmic force. There's a Chinese saying, 欲知前世因，今生受者是；欲知来世果，今生做者是。To know past life cause, observe the present life consequences. To know the future life results, observe the present life actions. So every action has a reaction or consequences. Our present circumstances are result of the past or past life actions. Our current choice and deeds are the cause that will shape our future lives. Therefore, we should always focus on what we're doing now, because what we're doing now can change our future. What's in the past we cannot change, but we can still change our future lives. So it's all depending on now. Get rid of our negative thoughts and start doing the good deeds that will change our future life destiny. Okay. Yes. Can fate or destiny be changed? The first answer is no, it cannot be changed. Uh, this is a multiple choice. Okay. The second answer is a future fortune teller can change one's destiny. Destiny is in our own hands or not sure. Okay. Um, so can destiny or fate be changed? The answer is yes, with wisdom and effort. Okay. So destiny is in our own hands. It's not in anybody else's hands. Okay. Um, change our mindsets and change karma, positive self-improvement and disciplines can all affect our future destiny. Okay. So um destiny can be changed because everything we encounter in this life is due to our past life karma. Therefore, if we change including our temperaments and mindsets, so shift our mindset, okay, and get rid of our bad tempers, then we can change our destiny. destiny can be changed. 女主是 say 我命生本自然，果然由我不由天。Translation is like patriarch Lü, my life came naturally, but what happened in life is decided by me, not heaven. We must take control of our destiny. Okay. Human life and the future arise naturally and can be shaped through one's own choice and efforts. What is predestined by heaven is only the starting point. What we create through our own actions becomes the journey and the outcome. So, receiving the 1 point transition, receiving Tao, one can transform destiny. Okay, in accord with our conscience and innate nature, we find our character by getting rid of our temperaments and correcting our faults. Okay, all that can shape our destiny. Understanding destiny. Okay, know one's destiny. Okay, to know that our destiny, that means that there's divine destiny, there's karmic destiny, and there's in destiny. Okay, and then establish one's destiny. After understanding one's fate, one take active responsibility in life, take charge of our fate and elevate life path. Become our own master of our fate. Okay, take control. Okay, it's not about passively accepting our fate, but actively creating and transforming it through cultivation. Heaven may give us the blueprints, but how we build the house is up to us. 立志, establish one's aspirations. Okay, define our life purpose. Aspiration is the compass of life. It marks the beginning of taking charge of one's fate. 立品 cultivates one's character and virtues, develop noble character and moral integrity. It's crucial in Tao cultivation. All right, let's go into the detail of know one's destiny, accepting the cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death, honoring the body given by our parents, and acknowledging that our Buddha nature comes from heaven. So, as a life, everybody had to go through birth, aging, sickness, and death. And this body came from our parents, but our soul our Buddha nature come from heaven. So knowing that it's very important that to let go of the forms, okay? And what is important is to realize our true self. The phenomenon of change arising from the interplays of cause and effect between the human minds and external environment, including people, events, and circumstances. Due to different virtues, karmic depths, foundations, and affinities, people have different destinies. Some lead to smooth, wealth life. Others suffers from many hardships. So it's whether we are wealthy or we are poor, we encounter many hardships. It's all due to our past deeds, past karma. Okay. Without virtue or karma, one cannot become a human. Therefore, our destiny is self-created. Receiving and cultivating Tao are not just be about transcending the suffering of reincarnation. It's also change our fate in this life. Okay, so we are what we sow. Okay, if we acknowledge and understand the karma and rebirth, then we won't complain about heaven and people. Bravely and calmly face and bear it without misgiving. Understanding the structure and nature of one's fate, destiny, through the tools like um, sutras and holy teachers, Saint Buddha's merciful scriptures. It's 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 not about to surrender it, but it's about gaining deeper self awareness. Okay. To know past life cause, observe the present life's consequence. To know the future life's results and observe the present life's action. That's been said before. Um, okay. There are three types of life or destiny. There's XinMin, divine destiny, which is our true divine nature, came from heaven. Um, our conscience, or yeah, what heaven bestowed us. There is 宿命, karmic destiny, karmic blessings and retributions, such as the food, the clothing, property, etc. They are the result of the karma and do not need scheming to acquire it. We will get what we deserve in this lifetime. No need to use force, um, such as a dream to acquire wealth and properties by a proper means. Okay. And then there's in destiny, the in aspect of our which behaviors, habits, and character, such as the karma and sufferings created by our habitual nature, temperaments, and dispositions, interests, and hobby. The saying, 自作孽不可活. So everything is self-inflicted. Okay, if we do something bad, then we will inflict disasters. We will have to encounter disasters. Okay. The six roots or the thieves are attracted by the sense objects and degenerate with worldly ways. The three poisons, greed, anger, and delusion, are the roots of bad karma. Having received the 1 point transmissions, we can transcend the three realms of existence. But because that we are still in this world of karma, we must cultivate Tao and take charge of our destiny. Therefore, we want to get rid of our in-life destiny after alter the predestined life, our karmic blessings, our karmic destiny, and grow the divine life destiny. Upon receiving Tao, a dragon form was burned, signifying our name is registered in heaven and removed in the underworld. This process reveals that our bright Buddha nature's true self, opening the spiritual gates and guiding us back to heaven. Okay, so receiving Tao might be easy, but actually there's, for most of us, it seems easy, but it's not that easy. Okay, there's four difficulties of receiving Tao. To be born as human, um, okay, there's a saying that it's only through accumulated good karmas that one can be reborn as human in this lifetime, allowing the false form to realize our true self. False form is our body. Okay. Once the human form is lost, it may take countless eons to regain it. All right. So, some people say, oh, if we don't cultivate and we still continue next lifetime, but the reality is that we might not get the human body again next life if we don't cultivate in this lifetime, and we might become reincarnate in the animal forms or the three evil realms, such as hungry ghosts, underworld, or animal realms. And when we are in those three realms, we are more delusional than we are now, and we could straight away further from the Tao, further from the truth, and become more ignorant. Okay, to be born in the land of the Tao. Okay, so basically, where Tao is available to us. Okay, not every place has a Tao in this country or in this world. So for us to encounter Tao is very, we are very blessed. Okay. To encounter an enlightened master is our holy Qigong Buddha and Bodhisattva of moon and wisdom. Um, in the past, one cultivates first, then attain the Tao, or we see Tao. This often means leaving homes and abandoning one's livelihood to travel thousands of miles in search of the enlightened masters and thousands more to seek the divine mantra. Even after enduring immense hardships, one wasn't guaranteed to achieve true enlightenment and then to encounter the true Tao. That these are the four difficulties for us to receive the blessing. Okay. Um, there's a 3 periods. In green periods, only teen can receive Tao, and red periods, Tao was descended to scholars and sage. Only those with high virtues can receive Tao, such as Confucius, Mencius, Sakyamuni Buddhas, or other enlightened beings. Only then can receive Tao. Um, and in this white periods, Tao descends to commoners. Heavens opens the gates of universal salvation, dispatching enlightened masters to incarnate in the world, representing the heavens to spread Tao. To receive Tao, one has cultivated at least 3 lifetimes, and their ancestor their ancestors has performed many virtuous acts. All right. So in order to encounter true Tao, uh, Tao is descended only at the right time, right timing. Okay. If we were born 100 years ago, we cannot receive this Tao. If we were born 100 years later, we might not have the chance to receive Tao. Okay. Tao is transmitted only through the worthy ones. Okay. Uh, that means that we have at least cultivated in our past life that we are worthy enough to receive these blessings. And one must cultivate it at least 3 lifetimes. One's ancestor has accumulated many meritorious deeds. Okay. Um, 中渊 says, 天命之谓性，率性之谓道. Okay, this is to know our true nature, divine destiny. What heaven translation is that what heaven has conferred is called the true or self nature. To be in accord with our the nature is called Tao. Okay. Um, if one's original nature has not yet been altered, it's called the nature. So when we incarnated in this world and it's influenced by our 6 emotions and 7 emotions and 6 desires, and become our mind is become clouded and resulting that we actions are called the mind and heart. Okay, basically we got uh contaminated in this world and that attached to our emotions and desires and thinking that our heart and mind is our true self. Therefore, we kind of strayed away from the truth. Okay. If our fundamental 天子 or divine duties, missions, and virtues, it is our fundamental 天子 divine duty, or mission, and virtue. If we do not fulfill our duties and disregard our moral and reputations, then we are going against our divine destiny and will not be blessed. This is just know that every action has its reaction, called the human minds, where we get the influence by the internal and external factors. Such as if someone treat me poorly, then I treat them back poorly in return. If someone scold at me, and then we will be unhappy. Okay, this is called reactive response. Our original nature does not have this kind of reaction. The original nature is like a child, pure and innocent. It does not respond based on how it is treated. Okay. In Doctrine of Means, 中庸 say 喜怒哀乐谓之发，谓之中. When joy, anger, sorrow, and delights have not yet arisen, this is called the state of equilibrium. Okay, when we do not have these emotions, we are at one with our Buddha nature. XinMin, karmic destiny. Okay, it refers to the food, the clothing, the property, wealth, or poverty, nobility, inferior, success, or lack of human achievements, longevity, or premature death. These rewards or retributions are the result of karma and do not need scheming to acquire. We will get what we deserve in this lifetime. No need to use force. So everything we encounter or possess in this lifetime is due to past life karma or retribution. Okay. A nobleman acquires wealth and property by proper means. So therefore, a noble person, we do not steal, we do not kill to acquire these wealth and property by, contentment brings happiness. Happiness is always being content, full but not bitter, frustrated but not worried. Jigong Buddha says, heavenly rank is inherent nobility without being an official. Golden light covers the body without great wealth. So these aspects of person's life, status, future fortunes, talents, and lifespans are shaped by one's karma accumulated from the past lives. And then there's the XinMin. The dark side of life. One's behavior, habit, character refers to karmic sufferings arise from the roots formed by one's habits, temperaments, preference, thoughts, and desire. The six roots and these attract by the sixth sense object and degenerate with worldly ways, or the three poisons, greed, anger, delusion, or the roots of the bad karma. Fulfilling one's destiny. So we must get rid of our destiny and stop the karmic destiny in order to grow the divine destiny. Destiny and karmic destiny are originally do not exist. It's not our true self, so it doesn't exist. It's because of our past life karma or retributions that we accumulate these and karmic destinies. Material desire is also the roots of destiny. Okay. Therefore, saints, sage, and immortals do not have destiny, but everyone else does. So the enlightened beings do not have destinies. Okay, they know that is not their true self. Getting rid of and karmic destiny to prolong the divine destiny is like getting rid of forms, transcending the relative wrongs to enter into the realm of truth, perform merits and nourish virtue, elevate life to reveal our true hearts. Let our true heart true nature shine through the transform our destiny. Only then we can live a better life. Okay. 明心即是知命，见性即是立命. Enlighten the mind is know one's destiny. Behold, the essence is to establish divine life or destiny. To know our destiny, but not to fulfill our destiny, is to waste our life. Confucius said, one who does not understand the divine destiny cannot become a true gentleman. One who does not understand the propriety cannot establish oneself. One who does not understand the words cannot establish oneself. Okay, so basically saying that destiny here is refers to our heaven's mandates, the natural order, and one's innate moral conscience. And okay, so if one do not understand the propriety, cannot establish oneself, it's it's it, our standard of conduct of being and acting. They forms the foundation of the stable and meaningful life. With a proper manner, one can go anywhere in the world. Okay. Therefore, how to fulfill divine destiny? 立命. Align with heaven's mandates. Begin by rectifying and cultivating oneself through the four alignments, such as proper mindset, proper mind, proper conduct, proper speech, and proper action. Proper mindset means do not fall into the duality. And when we do something, make sure we follow, do everything in accord with our Buddha nature. We speak in accord with our Buddha nature, say what is right, and the action. Master Hongren of the Fifth Patriarch says, without recognizing one's original mind, learning the Dharma has no benefits. Grand predecessor also says, true cultivator begin with observing disciplines, precepts. What is the expression of the virtue through the personal examples, whether it's in the temple, the family, the society? This is the outward manifestation of establishing one's destiny. Okay, so we should observe our precepts. What are the precepts? Such as no killing. Okay, it also means to adopt a vegetarian diet and to avoid contributing to the harm of all the living beings. So when we do not kill, we are benevolent. Okay. And then no stealing, respect the property and ownership of others. No stealing also means that when we take something from others, when we return it, make sure we put it back to the same place that we got it from. Okay, so we should never take anything that doesn't belong to us. And when we do not steal, we are righteousness. Righteousness. Okay. No sexual misconduct, no improper relationship outside of our marriage. Okay, improper relationship outside of marriage is it's strong principle often highlights with a saying of 100 good deeds, filial piety comes first. Of 10,000 evils, lust or sexual misconduct is foremost. Okay, so when we do not, you know, when we do not perform sexual misconduct, we have propriety. Okay. No false speech, no lying, no speak speaking untruth. Okay, it encourages us to be honesty and integrity in communications. When we do not lie or to have a false speech, then we have wisdom. Okay. Intoxicants. When under the influence of the drugs or alcohols, actions that goes against the moral principles and lead to immoral behaviors. Okay, so a lot of crime is committed when one is under the influence of drug or alcohol, such as raping, drinking, and driving, got into the car accident, and fighting, gun shootings. Is a lot of them is committed through the influence of drugs and alcohols. Therefore, it's encouraged to clear clarity of the minds, okay, and enhance to ethical conduct. Avoid anything that dulls the sense of impairs judgments, okay, leading the action that's anti-moral. Okay, when we do not intoxicants, we are trustworthy. When we are not under the influence of the drugs and alcohol. So we should always, it's also keep us a clear minded. Okay. Then, we should always be aware of what we do, what we say, what's our conduct, how to fulfill divine destiny, 命命, Jigong Buddha's merciful words. When a thought arises in our minds, heaven knows it's immediately. If one's thought is good, one is in heaven. If one's thought is evil, one is in hell. Therefore, one must be careful with their thoughts. Do not dwell on what is bad or negative. People must have bright thoughts to perform bright actions. One's conduct will then naturally align with propriety. Sorry. Thus, ascending to heaven or descending to hell is but a single thought away. Therefore, a noble person, 君子, must be cautious when alone, constantly attending to their own thoughts, because thoughts will become words and becomes our bad habits too. Okay, establishing one's aspiration. Uh, okay, aspiration is like to set a clear direction. Is the first step towards a personal growth. Okay, with firm direction of determinations, one can overcome any obstacle. Um, if we do not set a goal, we will be wandering around in circles in vain. Okay, 言子曰：舜何人也？鱼何人也？有为者亦若是。Master Yan says, what kind of person was Shun and Yu? Okay, one can be like them if we do as they did. Okay, 师尊曰：人觉哪有天职贵？功名哪有道名高？Holy teachers say, how can earthly titles compare with the heavenly ones? How can worldly fames be higher than the renounce of Tao? Okay, everyone can achieve the saintlyhood and become a sage. It's just depending on one's ambitions. The kind of ambition one sets will determine the kinds of person one will become. Therefore, one should follow the example of saints and sage, vow to achieve in this lifetime. The fame, fortune, and wealth of physical realms are illusioned, okay, and it's not real, it's temporary. When seeking fame, one should seek fame for 10,000 generations. When seeking benefits, one should seek benefit for all sentient beings. Become saints and Buddhas begins with benefiting all sentient beings. One should set a long-term goal, not constantly change goals. To receive and cultivate Tao, one must have vowed to cultivate oneself, vary others, and benefit all sentient beings. The first step in Tao cultivation is to make a vow, to make a good vow. With a good vow, one can control delusional thoughts, restrain oneself, and achieve self-perfection. Vow can transform karma. Performing merits and establishing virtues can eliminate karma and increase blessings. Establish one's aspiration. So in order to establish one's aspiration, all the saint Buddhas make great vows. Okay. For example, Siddhi Baba Bodhisattva, 地藏王 Pusa, okay, he vowed not to attain Buddhahood until the hell are empty. So within for eons help us that hell is always not empty, but they vow to continuously ferry all the sentient beings and never give up on them. Okay, Maitreya Buddha, 弥勒祖师 vowed to transform this earthly realms into a lotus paradise. Ancient Buddha of southern seas, Nanhai Gufo, she vows not to attain Buddhahood unless all sentient beings in the world are ferried. Okay. That's a great vows, and we should learn from all the saint Buddhas and make vows like them so we can transcend samsara and find our true self. Cultivate one's character and virtue. To achieve noble moral character, embody the virtues of saints and Buddhas. So to establish the aspiration, at the same time, we also need to cultivate our character and virtue because we have been so far from the truth. We have strayed so far away from the Tao. So we need to ratify our, cultivate our characters, okay, to become a better person, okay. If aspiration is not set, tasks are hard to accomplish. If character is not established, people won't be respectful. Set one aspiration with the salvation of the world in mind and strive to bring blessings to humanity. Establish one's character with a selfless heart and aim to benefit all sentient beings. To set a great aspiration, one must first rectify one's mind. To establish high character, one must first nurture one's nature. To cultivate a great aspiration, one must first study. To achieve high moral character, one must first attain Tao. Cultivate one continuation. 不立志不能立身，不立品不能立人. Without aspiration or will, one cannot get on in life. Without moral character, one cannot conduct ourselves with integrity. It's advised to read more compassionate scriptures, teachings, books, and sutras from Saint Buddhas. Okay. To learn from all the saint Buddhas, enlightened beings, to learn from their example. Okay, the Tao must be practiced in conjunction with virtue. Okay, to realize our true self, and when we manifest through our virtue. Cultivating one's character and virtues, establishing virtue, 立德, cultivating noble morality. Okay, cultivating merits, 立功. There's three types of givings. the merits we can establish. Giving of wealth, 财施, offering the financial or material help, such as donating material goods or donating food, donating money to help the poor. All that is can be giving of wealth. Okay, and then giving of dharma, sharing the spiritual teachings, knowledge and guidance. Teach people about the truth and teaching them about, bring them to receive Tao. It's all also giving of dharma. Giving of time, such as volunteer works, providing comforts, protections, or freeing others from fears. Okay. The other types of giving is such as helping others, giving lectures, cooking meals, cleaning, guiding others to the Tao, and motivate others to achieve Buddhahood. So there's all these are all types of giving. Okay, when we help others, then we at the same time we're helping ourselves. In conclusion, understanding our destination, destiny, establishing life and cultivating aspiration and virtues is to not get attached to forms as they are just temporary. Okay, we are here to play a character in the play, but when the character ended, when the affinity ended, we have to let go. Okay, so we shouldn't get attached to any forms, wealth, fame, social status in the lifetime, in life, and get rid of our temperaments and bad habits. To know that our temperaments and bad habit is not our true self. It's these are accumulated from our past life. So we should let it go of these that doesn't belong to us. It's not real. That isn't. It will cloud us from realizing our true self, our Buddha nature. Okay. Establish more good affinities and transform sentient beings, transcend sensora. Okay. So basically helping others, creating, helping others, it's a form of establish good affinities and help them. Only that when we continue accumulate merits, we can transform sensora. Okay. Use compassion to resolve bad fates or affinity, strengthen good affinities. Okay. To transform bad destiny to good destiny. Okay. Recognize our divine destinies and be at one with our true self. So just realize that we are here in this physical realms due to our past life cultivations and past life karma. So therefore, we need to pay off our karma by constantly performing good deeds, good affinities with others. Only this way we can change our destiny. So this will conclude my class for tonight. If I have said anything wrong, I ask Saint Buddhas for forgiveness and transmitters, lecturers, and everyone else for your corrections. So thank you.